There were many lessons learned from the COVID-19 pandemic, and among the ones that came during the first year in particular, when people were largely working and attending school from home, was that Colorado Springs didn't have adequate high-speed citywide internet. As a result, companies are now building or upgrading networks like never before here, and the competition should be good for consumers. Tonight, about 130 miles of plastic pipe sits inside this Colorado Springs Utilities parking lot. It is 3-inch conduit that will eventually contain tiny fibers that deliver data at a gigabyte per second or more.
So this is manufactured right up the road in Wyoming.
Brian Wardinger is the manager of CSU's Fiber Optic and Telecom Enterprise. He says the new fiber network will allow CSU to better identify the source of outages or other things like remotely cut off the gas to a home that is on fire or threatened by fire. But the biggest benefit is to provide a more secure way to control the different systems it monitors and manages.
These are all the controls for our electric grid. These are the controls for our water systems. These are the controls for our gas systems. Those control systems are going to be completely physically segregated from any IT system, which means it's that much harder to attack from a cybersecurity perspective.
But CSU only needs a fraction of the capacity that can fit inside these lines. So the utility has already leased out some of the excess bandwidth to Ting Internet, a private company that will then sell high-speed internet service to homes and businesses. CSU's total cost of building the fiber network over the next 6 years, $600 million. Ting Internet has agreed to pay $593 million to lease part of the network over the next 25 years, almost covering the cost of construction. And Ting may not be the only company paying to use the network.
We are in discussions currently with multiple companies who would like to be on the network, and we're trying to find terms that are agreeable to all parties involved.
Some of those companies are already building their own fiber networks. Metronet began construction in North Colorado Springs back in July. Comcast is installing new equipment to fully digitize its network and allow for a faster and more reliable connection. Stratus IQ is also expanding its fiber network into new parts of the city.
Fiber's about capacity and reliability.
Company president Ben Clay says all the growth in Colorado Springs over the last decade is driving this internet speed revolution.
When you have new rooftops going in, you're going to have new retail going in, and all of that development means, more communication infrastructure is needed.
But how much internet is actually needed in the average home? Consumer Reports created this calculator to help you figure it out. For example, at my home on a busy night, maybe we have one person browsing social media, myself going through some emails while streaming some news, another person watching a 4K movie, someone else streaming some music, someone else doing a Zoom or a FaceTime, and a few other devices. That comes out to 54 megabytes per second, far less than a gig or 1,000 megabytes per second. But eventually, everyone might need that much. Since 2020, internet traffic has increased 51%, and the number of household devices like doorbells, security cameras, and garage door openers connected to the internet has exploded.
The average homes now have 25 devices in each home, whereas a couple years back in 2019, it was only 11. So you're seeing an exponential increase in usage, and you're seeing a high demand for the best infrastructure.
So while fiber internet may be overkill for many of us now, its capabilities should allow these networks to serve the city for decades. And then, of course, there's the question of price. What does 1 gigabyte per second cost? It varies, but chances are fiber is very competitive to what you're paying now. And you can find a breakdown of those costs by company right now at KRDO.com.